Now on KMTV Action 3 News, buckle up or else. The new push to make wearing a seatbelt a primary offense in Nebraska, who's driving it, and the punishment if you don't. Also, Omaha teacher fired and charged with a sex crime, what investigators believe he did and where he taught. And touching tribute, the huge turnout to say goodbye to an American hero from small-town Nebraska who made a lasting impression on the biggest city in America.
KMTV Action 3 News live at 10 starts now with breaking news.
Let's get right to that breaking news. The results from an internal police investigation after a gunman shot a 2-year-old girl and her mother at a Northwest Omaha apartment earlier this month. The chief said tonight there is no indication his officers were to blame. The investigation surrounded 2 officers who made contact with double murder suspect Dontavis Lloyd, who you see right here. Prosecutors believe Lloyd had been to the apartment a couple times prior to killing Destacia Strawn and her 2-year-old daughter, Kenesha, on December 6th. Chief Schmatter released this statement tonight. Based on the investigation, there was no indication the officers acted in poor faith, and there was no way the officers could have predicted Mr. Lloyd's ultimate behavior when he returned approximately 4 hours later. The investigation did find a policy violation, and the officers will receive internal discipline and training. Lloyd is being held without bond in the Douglas County Jail tonight on murder charges. He turned himself in a day after the shooting. Moments ago, Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert issued a statement calling the internal investigation prompt, fair, and thorough. The mayor notes that she and the police chief have already met with the family of Destacia Strawn. Scenes like this one just last week are all too familiar on Nebraska roads. Deadly car crashes. Oftentimes, the person who dies was not wearing a seatbelt. A leading advocate in Omaha is urging Nebraska lawmakers to take action now when it comes to buckling up. He wants to make it mandatory, or violators will get a ticket and get hit with a fine. Reporter Nick Starling picks up the story.
Craig, currently if you're driving down the road and not wearing your seatbelt, you can't get a ticket for it unless you get pulled over for speeding or another offense. But one former state senator is asking current state senators to make buckling up a priority for safety reasons.
The message to the motoring public, this is important. Everybody put their seatbelt on.
Patrick Vendetti pleads his case and why there should be a law in place for you to buckle up.
So many of our young people and the people that I've had in driver's ed most recently since retiring from Westside still haven't gotten the message.
Vendetti shows us what it's like to not have your seatbelt on during a rollover. It seems like this Vendetti is trying to avoid. A 47-year-old woman died after crashing her car into a light pole in August of this year. She was not wearing her seatbelt. As of October of this year, the Nebraska Department of Roads says nearly 80% of people killed in car crashes were not wearing a seatbelt. This graph from the Nebraska Department of Highway Safety points out over the years the death rate versus seatbelt usage. You can see for the most part, as more people wear their seatbelts, death rates drop. Drivers like Dan LaPerry wear his seatbelt, which potentially saved his life years ago.
As a younger teen, I got into a car accident and could have been launched pretty good if I didn't wear my seatbelt.
Camilla Pecco used to work at a hospital and saw firsthand what not wearing a seatbelt can do.
And I saw some pretty bad cases of people not wearing the seatbelts getting hit at 45 miles an hour.
But not everybody is going full speed on this proposal.
Yeah, I don't think it should go as far as, making it a law. Personally, and not to be smart, but I think that the car beepers going off is annoying enough.
But for Vendetti, that beeping noise is to remind you wearing a seatbelt can save your life.
I think what's happened in the last 48 hours with the 3 young people being killed, and I think every one of those people in that car were ejected, and a former student of mine this summer. Same way. I don't know what happened, and one of the best drivers we had. Great student in class. One night he was driving, and whether you call it driver inattention, inadequate lookout, I don't know, but he ran a stop sign. And in so doing, I believe 3 people were killed, and none of those people were wearing a seatbelt.
Now, I did reach out to some state senators to get their opinions on this. I did hear back from State Senator Bill Kittner, and he says using the force of government to the highest degree possible and trying to force compliance with a federal seatbelt mandate is going too far, obviously opposed to this. Again, the legislative session starts a week from today. Reporting live tonight, Nick Sterling, KMTV Action 3 News.
All right, powerful message and demonstration there, Nick. Slick roads played a role in a deadly crash this morning in Bellevue. The collision happened around 7:15 on 36th Street near Highway 370. Investigators say 44-year-old Dean Elder died. He was the passenger in a Chevy Cobalt that Christina Elder was driving. She lost control, then a northbound BMW hit the passenger side. Paramedics took her and the driver of the other car to the hospital. 5 people went to the hospital after a crash at Mercer and Cumming in Omaha around 1:30 this morning. The driver of a pickup truck crossed the center line, then smashed into a van. You see it right there. Police say alcohol might have been a factor. At least one person has critical injuries. Omaha police, as well as surrounding agencies, have extra patrols on the roads tonight. They are joining the nationwide You Drink, You Drive, You Lose campaign. Those extra patrols are keeping an eye out for drunk drivers from now until January 2nd.
Now, your Weather Alert First Forecast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jim Flowers. Light snow showers have developed right over the city around 6 o'clock this evening. Have pushed well off to the east of us or over near Atlantic. They are pushing east fairly quickly. Clearing will likely follow later on tonight. It's going to be a cold start tomorrow morning, but temperatures do begin improving in that extended forecast, especially as we head toward Saturday. I'll tell you how warm it's looking on Saturday and how long that warmth will stick around coming up.
The Omaha Public School District has fired a teacher accused of a sex crime involving a teenage student. Police say Brian Robeson had a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old former student. Prosecutors have charged him with sexual assault of a juvenile. Police spoke with the girl and her parents after receiving a tip about the relationship. He's a math teacher at Davis Middle School and previously worked at Prairie Wind Elementary. A parent not involved in the case says Robeson was a great teacher.
I'm very sad. I'm really hoping it's not true, and it's sad for any family.
The Omaha Public School District released a statement. Here it is. We expect our staff members to be professional, ethical, and appropriate in all of their interactions with students, colleagues, and community members. We will not tolerate any conduct that is inappropriate and unbecoming of a staff member. We are saddened and deeply disappointed by the allegations against Mr. Robeson. Same topic, different place. A former Lincoln teacher who sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl is challenging his prison sentence. Jackson Hedrick is appealing his 20-year punishment. The 23-year-old apologized when he pleaded guilty to sexual assault earlier this month. Police arrested him and he lost his job in March. The girl was a student at the middle school where Hedrick was a first-year teacher. Tonight, a big money settlement in the case of the Omaha boy who died after falling into a swimming pool at Nathan Hale Middle School back in November of 2014. The Omaha Public School District has agreed to pay the family of 12-year-old Demariante Brown Elliott $250,000. As part of that deal, relatives agree not to sue the district and not to comment about the incident publicly again. They had been critical of administrators after the boy drowned. The school district will also pay the $5,000 funeral bill. A double murder north of downtown Omaha earlier this month left 2 teens dead, 3 others behind bars. Today, as they stood before a judge, more details emerged. Cops found James Starr and Brandon Phelps dead inside an SUV at 16th and Yates in what investigators believe was a gun-buy and robbery setup. Now, 15-year-old Corvassier Sims faces murder charges. Warren and Martin Anderson are accused of helping him get away. A judge says there's not enough evidence to charge the Andersons with conspiracy, though.
The officer's testimony was that there was no conspiracy, so there's no agreement, there was no knowledge on their part that this is what was going to happen.
A probation officer identified the alleged shooter, Sims, and police put him at the scene by tracking his juvenile probation ankle bracelet. Crews from a few different departments joined forces this afternoon to battle a fire in Ralston. Here's a look at the damage right here. It was a smoky one. The fire broke out around noon near 79th and Oakwood in Ralston. One man had to go to the hospital. He suffered smoke inhalation. 2 dogs rescued right there. Despite the damage, firefighters say the house is not a complete loss. A fallen American hero who was also a New York City police detective and Nebraska native, honored by thousands in the biggest city in America this afternoon. Joseph Lem was a 15-year veteran of the NYPD and a technical sergeant in the Air Guard. 4 days before Christmas, he was one of 6 troops killed by a suicide bomber in Afghanistan. A sea of blue filled the streets near St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York today to honor Joe Lem. The church played the funeral service on loudspeakers so everybody there could hear it.
This is awesome. That's the best they can do. We should respect and support everyone.
In fact, that woman went to Mass there and stuck around for the funeral when she saw the huge attendance. Lem is survived by his wife, a teenage daughter, and 4-year-old son. He grew up in the small town of Beamer, Nebraska. Look at this. They honored him there with this sign after the attack. Don't forget, the Holiday Lights Festival will come to an end in Omaha tomorrow night with a spectacular celebration. A fireworks show that can be seen for miles will take place at Jean Leahy Mall downtown. They blast off at 7 p.m. KMTV is a proud sponsor. I will be emceeing the event. I hope to see you all there for New Year's Eve. Big events coming up around New Year's, including the ball drop at Times Square and the Rose Bowl. Tonight, why the feds are very concerned and what they are doing to beef up security.
And folks, if you're heading to the festivities tomorrow night to see Mr. Grelli over here, I'll have that forecast for you coming up right after the break. It does look kind of chilly.
The power of Action 3 News in the palm of your hand. When you see breaking news, send it to iContribute@KMTV.com. From weather to traffic, if it's important to you, it's important to us. Send it to iContribute@KMTV.com.
This holiday, Ford, America's best-selling brand, is giving you more. It's the Ford Holiday Sales Event, featuring 0% financing for 60 months on the Built Ford Tough 2015 F-150 and Super Duty. That's big savings on the best-selling trucks for 38 years straight. Legendary toughness. It's the best gift ever. Now get 0 for 60 plus $2,000 in total savings and no payments for 90 days, or lease an F-150 for just $259 a month. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Soon, Cox will bring us internet that's 100 times more powerful. Peekaboo. And we'll be able to do anything we imagine.
In the corner, looking kinda blue. Don't you try to hide from you know who. Peekaboo, peekaboo, I see you.
Holographic gaming. That's what I'm gonna do with Gigablast.
Cox is unleashing Gigablast Internet. How will you live the gig life?
It's the burrito that breaks all the rules. Taco John's beef, meat, and potato burrito. Just $2.49 for a limited time. I call this day a win.
Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Okay, we're here. There's Dad, Mom, the twins, Aunt Alice.
You didn't tell me Aunt Alice was coming.
Of course.
Don't forget Grandpa. Can the test drive be over now? Maybe just head back to the dealership.
Don't you want to meet my family?
Yep, totally.
It's practically yours, but we still need your signature. The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. 0 do-it signing, 0 down, 0 deposit, and 0 first month's payment on a new Jetta and other select models.
Tonight, the FBI confirms it is boosting its New Year's holiday presence in Los Angeles, New York, and Washington following an unconfirmed terror threat. More agents will be at the ball drop in Times Square and the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Randy Page spoke with a terror expert.
When it comes to potential terror targets, the Rose Parade and Rose Bowl are at the top of the list, equal to the Super Bowl, according to federal law enforcement authorities. With an open 5-mile parade route and hundreds of thousands of people attending an iconic event that is televised worldwide, it all adds up to an enticing target. And this year, there will be more security and technology deployed than ever before. Mark Selby is the Deputy Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations in Southern California.
It's unprecedented in the amount of security. There's never been a time that there have been more law enforcement personnel seen and unseen, and there's never been a time that there's been more technology deployed in order to make it a more secure set of events.
Selby says it's extremely important for everyone who attends the event to let law enforcement personnel know if they see something suspicious. And he says, don't let fear change the way you conduct your life.
Enjoying the Rose Parade with your family and seeing, seeing that sparkle in your children's eyes as they see the floats come by and all that, that's how we win.
He says the best way to protect a way of life is to live it.
On the field, the Iowa Hawkeyes will play the Stanford Cardinal on New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl. Kickoff is set for 4 p.m. our time. Weather Alert meteorologist Jim Flowers is here, and you say watch out for the cold tonight.
It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. Skies are beginning to clear. The snow showers we had have moved on to the east, and with fresh snow cover, that means it's going to get cold out. Let's take a look first at Viper HD. You can see the last of the snow showers near Atlantic over in eastern portions of Cass County in Iowa. They are clearing very quickly on toward the east. They actually developed right over the Omaha Metro here, have been tracking east ever since. A closer view, we'll take a look from Des Moines radar, looking back along Interstate 80. The latest image shows those moving out of Cass County. And again, those are pushing off to the east as clearing begins to roll in from the north and west. Threat tracker as we go into the weekend. Tomorrow not bad. It's going to be chilly tomorrow night though. We're only expecting temperatures in the 20s for highs, so readings tomorrow evening will likely be at least in the lower 20s, if not the upper teens. Let's go ahead, show you temperatures right now, 25 degrees. Winds are coming at us out of the west at 7 miles an hour. Across the city, 20 degrees at Hanscom Park, 23 in the Field Club neighborhood. If you live in Papillion or La Vista, readings there are in the lower 20s. Back out to the west, look where it's clearing. Prairie View already at 19 degrees. And again, skies are clearing from west to east, and that'll be the case as we kind of progress throughout the remainder of the night. You can kind of tell by the shading. Look at the cold air. It's already 9 in Norfolk, 9 in Wayne, 10 in Columbus. This is basically where the clearing is, and it is pushing toward the southeast. Some colder readings in southwest Iowa for you folks as well, upper teens in Red Oak, and also around Clarinda. Satellite photography. This is the infrared version. It can pick up some of the clearing that's taking place, but as you can see, it's showing up quite well now, pushing toward the Omaha Metro. The snow showers again moving off to the east along Interstate 80. Those should be diminishing as that drier air moves in throughout the night. Now let's take a look at the forecast then as we kind of progress throughout the overnight. Readings up to our north and west quite cold. Temperatures dropping back into the upper single digits to about 10 degrees. I think for Omaha, our model is actually a little bit warm. We'll probably see readings around 8 or 9, and that'll be the case, single numbers to our north and west. As we go toward lunchtime, should be in the lower 20s, and then in the afternoon, temperatures will reach mid-20s for highs again. And if you're heading to the festivities to see our own Craig Negrelli, MC the fireworks, tomorrow night, temperatures will probably be in the lower 20s, dropping into the teens. 8 degrees, very cold tonight. Sunshine for tomorrow, that's a nice thing. Winds won't be too bad with a high of 26. Over the next 3 days, not bad on Friday, 34. Should get into the upper 30s right now, the way it looks ahead of a front on Saturday. And then as we head through the forecast into next week, pretty good chance for at least a little bit of light rain as we head toward Wednesday, and 42. Let's take a look at tonight's Weather Alert Kid. Despite the cold, Kai has a smile on his face. He says, you know what, Jim, I can handle that cold as long as I'm dressed warm enough. Temperature tomorrow for the youngsters, if they're heading to the hills to do a little sledding, 8 degrees, and that's cold.
All right, very good, Jim, and thanks for the plug about the fireworks. I will be there, whether it's cold or warm or snowy or wintry. We go there every year, and it's a blast. See you there. Tonight, actor Bill Cosby is no longer just the subject of a bunch of allegations. He's charged with a crime, where he appeared in court, and what he's accused of doing to a woman who called him a friend and mentor.
We want to make sure that your kids are dressed for the weather conditions.
And we want them to join our Weather Alert team.
I'm ready to help, guys.
Weather Alert Kids on Action 3 News. Sponsored by Children's Hospital and Medical Center. KMTV.com for details.
I'm Ben Carson, and I approve this message.
There's still time to get in. Get bonus cash now at Nissan's holiday event.
Get up to 1,000 bonus cash on top of existing offers.
Get in before it's over.
Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
At Mega Saver, we're all about saving you money. Fuel up for less at Mega Saver. Everyone saves 5 cents a gallon all day, every day, no exceptions. We have everyday items at the lowest prices. Are you looking to get the best price on a cell phone or cell phone service? We got you. Free phones, no contracts. We're talking $30 unlimited service, plus 50% off all cell phone accessories. Visit any of our convenient locations today. Mega Saver, the lowest prices in the metro.
Join us for the 32nd Annual Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Luncheon, Monday, January 18th at the Omaha Hilton Hotel, presented by the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. Plus, sign up today for the 7th Annual Teach-In on Saturday, January 16th at the Creighton University Law School, and attend our Unity service on Sunday night the 17th at Salem Baptist Church, the IMA Martin Luther King Jr. Weekend. Call today or go to omahaima.com for details. Sponsored by KMTV-TV.
Experience the wonder of the natural world with the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibit at the Durham Museum.
Featuring 100 awe-inspiring images of breathtaking landscapes and fascinating animal behavior, the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibit takes you behind the scenes to learn the stories behind each amazing photo. Come celebrate the 50th year of the world's most prestigious wildlife photography competition, the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibit, now through January 3rd at the Durham Museum. For more information, visit KMTV.com.
Compare and save during Ashley Ford's holiday sales event. Receive 0% financing on most new Fords. Just sign and go in a 4x4 Super Cab F-150 for only $389 a month, or sign and go in a Ford Fusion for just $199 per month. Compare and save at Ashley Ford or ashleyford.com.
Skyview brought to you by Exarban Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing.
This was a spectacle. I mean, watch. Comedian Bill Cosby walked into a small courthouse in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania today. That's outside of Philadelphia, to hear the criminal sexual assault charges against him. His accuser, Andrea Constant, is a former Temple University employee who first told police about the incident more than a decade ago.
The victim came to consider Mr. Cosby her mentor and her friend. Today, after examination of all the evidence, we are able to seek justice on behalf of the victim.
At the time, the district attorney said there was not enough evidence to file charges. Investigators reopened the case after a judge unsealed a portion of depositions from a civil suit that Constant filed in 2005, in which Cosby admitted giving drugs to women. The friend of one of the shooters in the San Bernardino massacre will be indicted. 24-year-old Enrique Marquez is charged with conspiring with Syed Farouk in a pair of attacks and making false statements. Marquez has not yet entered a plea. Farouk and his wife killed 14 people in a terror attack at a holiday party in California. Both were later killed in a shootout with police. The Huskers opened Big Ten basketball play, and for a while, it looked like Big Red would pull an upset. Highlights of their game against Northwestern and a look ahead to Creighton's schedule. Next in sports.